Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going live right now, trying to show off this market. Because I got to run a little early today, so I'm getting a head start on the stream, so we got enough time to cover everything I want to cover. First things first, though, I'm gonna ping, send out a live message, tell people we're live. So let's do it. Stream pings. Hold on. I'll find it. Here we go. Boom. Copy this. Bam. Send now. There we go. Everybody live. Published. Confirm. Yes. Let's go. All right. What's going on? What's going on? Right now I'm just poking around the market. Let me see what else is going on here on Wax. Let's go to Alcor and also Taco Swap and also let's say Wax on Edge. Pull up some of the apps that I like to use on Wax. How about Atomic Hub? Atomic Hub. Curious to peek around at my NFTs right now. Inventory. How we doing? Oh, Yazing dropped me an ape. They're at it again, trying to get their hitch their wagon to the current big thing, I guess. Let's see what else we got here. Some friends tokens, the remnants of the pack that I opened after I sold. Like, check this out. Golb and Finn the Human. Huge. What a pack. That's 183 something. God, I felt so good about that. I also yesterday I rewatched the episode that this character was from, and I didn't realize he's from the series finale. He's from the very last episode. That's pretty wild. And the whole like thing that happens is pretty crazy. Like, if you watch that show, fuck, it's fucking nutso. But yeah, let me keep poking around the market just for a little bit here. Let's see what else I have in my inventory. Oh, right. It's because I have no badged. Let's see. Oh, I got some apes. Ape floors at 350. Not bad. I think it was at 400 yesterday, so it's up and down now. I'm still like shocked to see the floor of those apes go up so high. I bought mine. What's going on, Jeff? I'm poking around just Atomic Hub right now, waiting, just funneling. People are filing in. I was checking this out. Like, these apes that I bought. I minted like 11 apes. They were 50 wax each. So I spent, 550 wax to mint them. And then I sold these for, more than I paid for all of them. And I still have a bunch of fucking apes left over. Kind of nice. I also really like, as much as I dislike that project and don't like, supporting kind of rug grab or rug pull, like money grab shit, the creators of that project also, took the money that they made and gifted it to, I think, like NFT Hive, Bounty Blocks. I forget who else. I think WaxDAO. So they like distributed what they money grabbed to people who are building on Wax. It's hard to be upset about it, I feel like. Nice. You got two of them. Fuck yeah. Here, I'll show you what I have left. I scooped a few of the ones with the 3D glasses. Like, I bought all these, but for here, 63 wax secondary market, 63. Basically, the floor is almost mint price, like 10 above mint price because I wanted a 3D glasses trait. And then these are all still left over for my mint. So I think I have like 11 left. And this one's my best as far as rarity score goes. If you're not familiar, you can check that on NFT Hive. They have a nice little like rarity calculator here. The Wax Ape Rave Club. If you go to PFP rankings, And then I think on the right, you can say owner and type your own wallet. And then it'll tell you what the ranking of your NFTs are. And this one is number 723 out of 10,000. So that's as rare as I go. And most of mine are more like on the 10,000 half of this spectrum. This one's pretty close to total trash, which I kind of like that. I like how. Oh, so one more time. If you are on NFT Hive, let's see, you're looking in your wallet and you see your ape. You can click on the Wax Ape Rave Club here, which takes you to like their page. And then instead of about market drop, you want to go to PFP rankings. So you click on PFP rankings. And then on the left side here in the filters, there's an owner tab. So you can fill your own wallet in here. I did max collected, and then it'll show you only your apes, and the little number here will tell you what their ranking is out of 10,000, which is kind of fun. What's up, Prince X Phoenix? What's up, Poppin' Stock? What's going on? Buy and sell. Yeah, it's, you know what? As much as, like I said, I was saying this a second ago, as much as I like don't like to show off what amounts to like a money grab bullshit project, and it's kind of a polarizing like property. I do like that they gave the money that they, money grabbed to projects like Bounty Blocks and WaxDAO, projects that are actually building on Wax. So projects that aren't money grabbing. So it's kind of a nice little liaison for them to be like, oh, we're money grabbing, but Robin Hood style, giving it to the needy here. I have sold a few. You're asking if I'm selling any. So I bought almost all of these at drop price or from mint. And then I've sold these ones to basically break even again. So at this point, I don't know if I'm going to sell any more of them or if I'm just going to wait for them to distribute their royalty. It's my understanding that WaxDAO, so Mike D from WaxDAO created a custom staking contract for the apes, where the ape project paid for the RAM to stake all of them. So you don't, as an owner, you don't have to stake or do anything. They automatically just are staked and earning the distribution rewards. You will just need to go and claim those once that is happening. And Poppin' Stock saying right now, distribution is supposed to be on Friday. So if I take a look at like the secondary market of the Wax apes, and we can see that the total volume is $27,900. What that means in terms of it's a 10%. So it's really, really easy math, by the way. It's a 10% secondary market fee. So you'd get 0.01% of 10% of all this volume. So let me do quick calculator math here and see what each of my apes should be paid out at the moment. So if we did 616,800 wax, but 10% of that is 61,000, and then we'll do times 0.0001 because each 10,000 units. So we want to do that. So then right now I think each of my let me make sure this is 10,000. Yeah, each of my apes should be getting already 6 wax dropped to them. Yeah, exactly. Super easy calculation because here, like you said, 6.16 wax, and it's 6.16 because it is this number, and then you're getting 10th of 10,000. So you just move the decimal 5 places. So you will get 6.16800 wax per ape that you hold so far as the wax distribution. Not terrible. That's like, I bought them at mint price. That's like 10%, a little over 10% of what I paid for them. Already coming like 12% coming back within a week. So I kind of see why people are like jumping into this project pretty aggressively. I don't think it's a good idea to do any of this stuff for the expectation of some kind of return or some kind of yield through staking. But like Poppin' Stock was saying, it's fun. Like people are buying and selling them. It's fun to buy and sell. And like, I'm having a lot of fun fucking with this. And since they, gifted the money that they raised to the community of people building on Wax, I'm feeling a lot less like a shill or a shithead poking in on this project again. But yeah, that's, I think I've looked at the wax apes enough. I don't want to, like I said, I do think it's kind of polarizing. It's at its core, it's ripping off artwork from the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and ultimately it's kind of sad to see that like the most successful PFP project on the Wax blockchain is more or less a copy paste of something that was original somewhere else years ago. All of that said, I'm having fun. The market's moving. I'm like having a good time trading it, and it was really cool to be able to scoop some of these ape mints using tokens for games that I had played that had earned and stacked up over time. But yeah. Let's see. And that they sold, dude, the fact that they sold out, Mocha, that blew my mind. They sold out in like 2 days on a 10,000 mint. Like on Wax, I would have been like, yeah, you can't sell 10,000 like NFT PFPs on Wax. There's just not the demand for it. But there was a decent, like, again, it's a polarizing project, and there's a decent amount of people who are like, oh yeah, it's like there's collusion. There's a lot of insiders buying their own like apes. There's, having networking connections with the Wax core team to, advertise this project within the like cloud wallets and stuff definitely helps. Not necessarily saying it's a scammy thing. Doesn't feel great though. It's not like, oh, anybody could do this who's an independent artist. It's like anybody could do this with an ass load of like these connections and willingness to kind of like manipulate their own marketplace. Let's see. So KY is saying it's a ripoff of a ripoff. It's not even the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Yeah, it feels like an iterative, like we're like kind of deep. I do kind of like some of the traits are very Wax specific. Like, let me see. And I wanted to not like spend too much time on this, but like I said, I have fun with it. And Paul just gave me a smoothie. Let's see, view market here. Some of these are like obviously this guy, you got the whacked hat and then Atomic Cup shirt. That's a pretty cool one, actually. Not about to spend 2,000 wax on something. But let's see, some of the other ones that I noticed that were like Wax community centric would have been, let's see, there's like a Just a Ape earrings. I think that's like a reference to Just a Guy. There's like a little bug, a little Kafer, which Kafer is the name of one of the Wax OGs. Let's see what other ones. There's definitely like some nods, like tips of the hat to OG Wax like community members that I feel like I don't know. I'm here for that. I think that's fun because it is clearly made by people who are aware of the kind of like Wax community, at least, to include things like that. Although I think some of the people who were included and referenced in the artwork aren't fans of the artwork, which just adds to the polarization of it all. I don't know. Again, I think it's fun.
Did you see the? I missed what you started with, but did you see the whole Uniswap thing?
I did not. What is the Uniswap
freaking pissed. They just announced the V4 liquidity they're working on. I'm like, I just barely figuring out how to use V3. Can you guys slow down on your innovations?
Oh hell yeah, dude!
On our Discord, but they released like the GitHub publicly so people can like critique it before it launches.
Hell yeah!
Or I'll send you the link on Discord, but sorry to interrupt.
That's super cool. I need to dive into that before I like can break it down for everybody, because the V3 took me a while to wrap my head around too. I'm really excited to hear that though. Damn, this one looks cool. He's just like plain as hell. I'm trying to think of some of these other like attributes that are specific like to the Wax, like referencing the Wax space.
When you were specifically talking about that, I said like Kafer is one. Kafer, there's like a kind of like safari hat, and then there's a beetle on it, and Kafer's logo is a beetle, and he's the Wax OIG. And he was the one who said, I'm not going to be buying any of these. Like, I don't care if they're like targeting me with a trait that's specifically for me. I'm not interested. I don't know if he changed his mind at any point, but that was his stance like before it dropped.
Yeah, and then Just a Ape, I think, is a play on Just a Guy, who's another
guy who wants HZAU.wham, the Wax Team wallet, which could be seen purchasing over 100 of these apes and spending thousands of dollars on one.
Oh, here it is. Just a ape. So like, yeah, I do like that. Despite the fact that it's like a ripoff of a ripoff, they did still like take care to include things that make it much more wax centric.
Prefer it to BAYC for that reason. I mean, of course, if I could pay $3 and get a BAYC, I would, just for the financial implications. But like, I'm not actually really interested in collecting the artwork of BAYC. But like, because this is wax centric, I was actually more interested in it. And also, it's cheap enough that like I would never hold an ape worth $80,000. Like, if wax apes ever get close to that, I'm paper hands. I'm selling so much faster than $80,000. Are you kidding me?
I'll never make it to 100K on these. Yeah, I'll sell before we hit 1,000. Like if one of these sells for 100, I'm all the way out.
I didn't buy it to sell it though. Like I fully expected to never make a financial return on this. I minted for them just for fun because I was like, oh, like fun. It's like a new PFP project. I get different trades every time I mint one. I'll mint a couple just to see what I get. But
I also just like PFP projects.
It's honestly way more successful than I was ever expecting.
Yeah,
like,
I did not expect it to be.
Pull. I told people in our community, I was like, it's an anonymous team. They say they're going to give you the aftermarket, but there's no way to hold them accountable. They can just bail on wax immediately and we can't track them down. So, buy with caution. Like, it might be a rug pull, but I've been pleasantly surprised that they seem to be following through. And then also, as Max was saying, they're paying, I think you mentioned, they paid 50,000 wax to NFT Hive, Bounty Block, and Waxdow. And like, I can let you know,
that's so
Mike
cool.
has not made 50K wax selling Wojak, so the wax community will not buy stuff from the creators making these tools that need the money. So if they are willing to buy a knockoff and then that money goes to the creators building the tools, like that's good for wax.
I'm not hurting.
As far as I'm concerned.
I'm not mad about that at all. I think it's great. It actually makes me feel good about having supported the drop. I honestly was a little ashamed that I bought these. I was like, yeah, I know it's trash and I agree that it's bullshit, but I like PFPs and fuck you. I'm spending my wax on this.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. Buy what you want. If you like the art, like you can't really lose on this one. That's how I was feeling. I was like, it's cheap enough that like I never expect a financial return and it's fun. So like, why not buy a couple? And I also like that you could mint with like, I didn't mint any of mine with wax. I spent RLM, which is like the Realm token. And I'd recently just sold all of my Realm NFTs, so I was like, I'm just sitting on a bunch of this game token. Like, I'd rather have these fun pictures than a game token for a game I don't play. And same with loot from Warsaken. I looked at my tip bot, and I had enough loot just sitting in the tip bot from, like, claiming free claims on Discord that I could mint one, so.
Those two tokens you mentioned were the two that I was using to, like, I was literally just buying those tokens with wax and then using them to mint apes just because you could mint an ape for, like, 44 wax instead of 50 from doing that.
It was. I do not think this is a Yazing project. Yazing is just airdropping or like
here's the
trying to advertise their stickers to holders. I think somebody actually reported them to Atomic Hub for this because some people are not happy to have Yazing stuff in their wallet.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's not. They're not the only people doing that. Like Nick with Landbox is also now putting the apes in his game. There's another person making like a mobile battle game. Whenever a project gets hot on wax, all the other projects try to collab and like get the customers from it. It's sort of part of the ecosystem and has been the entire time I've been on it. So because this is hot, you see Zing jumping on it, you see Landbox, you see all the people trying to get the hype into their projects, which I don't blame them. I mean, that's what you do.
Yeah, that's the game.
Part of the reason why you collaborate with people on wax is to try to grow your audience.
Yeah, definitely. Name of the game. On that note, though, we kind of like spent too much time on this. I do want to take a look at the market a little bit this week. It's been kind of a wild week. Here we are on the daily chart for Bitcoin. We have been for the last few weeks saying on our streams here whenever we check out the market that we're expecting it to kind of fall down. Let's zoom back out to the weekly. And we were looking for it to kind of fall back to this support line here, to this strength band level, and hopefully bounce there, but possibly be rejected here to push further into the bear market. I have been kind of hesitant on calling a bottom for the bear market in crypto. I don't think we're quite there yet. We're about 6 to 12 months too early for that. So I think we are still going to move a little bit further down. And at the very least, we're going to retest like 1650 or so for Ethereum. And this week we've continued our little bit of a sell-off. So I kind of want to talk about that a little bit, because this last week when we were, projecting already like 2 weeks ago that we're probably going to retest this level before moving higher, we didn't have any of the kind of news that we've gotten last week, such as the lawsuits leveled by the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC in the United States, against Coinbase here in the US and against Binance US, as well as Binance, just international Binance. So what those kind of two major events were is that, the SEC is alleging that both of these institutions are participating in supplying unregistered security trading to their clients. And then in the case of Binance, they're even alleging criminal activity. They're saying that Binance, hasn't done enough to keep American users out of its international projects or products, and that on top of that, they've been using their clients' funds in ways that constitutes fraud. So, important to note, Coinbase was not accused of fraud, only securities, unregistered securities trading. Binance was accused of both unregistered securities trading and fraud. And that, is a really nice narrative for most media to sink their teeth into and be like, that's why crypto dumped. But again, I wanted to mention we have been expecting crypto to dump well before any of this news comes in. And ultimately, it's just playing out the way the chart has. Nothing's really broken yet in our model. We're still kind of seeing that steady climb down, and probably still going to see 1650, maybe 1600 for Ethereum, and then before hopefully finding a little bit of a support there and bouncing. But yeah, that's, I think, something to keep in mind. Is like, we knew this was kind of like coming or in the stars, and the news isn't necessarily the thing that's like driving our like, prediction here. It's more like the chart. So again, looking at the chart, here we are on the daily. We did have a bear print a while ago. We're now being rejected on the strength band, so moving down, very much like what we're expecting to see. The RSI, SRSI is a little bit on the oversold side now, so we are probably going to cool off here on the daily. Hopefully bounce back up all the way to the band. So we have our range right now would be between these two lines, probably 1850 on the top of the range. And right now we're almost at the bottom here at 1700, 1750. If this holds as support, that's what we'll expect to see happening in the next week. If this fails as support, we'll probably fall down to the next support level, which we've been tracking for months already. So if we do start speeding up again in our sell-off, I'd expect to find some support again around 1650 to 1600. So we have another about $100 of room to move down. But we'll have to see what these next few days kind of bring. Specifically, today and tomorrow, the FOMC meeting has started today and will be press conferenced tomorrow with the results. If you've watched our Tuesday streams for a while now, you'll know I talk about these meetings kind of every time they happen, because it's a big deal for the financial world. But the FOMC meeting is the Federal Reserve's decision to adjust interest levels on interest rates on a federal level. So over the past almost 2 years now, every FOMC meeting has seen the federal interest rate increase. An increase in federal interest rate means it's more expensive to borrow money, meaning it's more expensive to do business, meaning equity prices tend to fall, and the dollar strength should increase. Inflation should be combated by such a move. We'll find out tomorrow what happens. I'm expecting a 0.25% increase in the rate hikes. There has been kind of talk about this being the last of the planned rate hikes before, quantitative tightening, which is the kind of Federal Reserve term for what they're doing, stops. And so we'll see. Basically, it'll depend on the tone of tomorrow's FOMC meeting, the press release after that. If Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, says something along the lines of that was, we increased the rates, but we won't increase them further, that could help to rally the markets quite a bit versus it, doing what it should do and cooling off the equities a little bit. So we'll have to see what happens. Tomorrow's kind of a big day where the news actually does matter and factor into my trading strategies anyway. And for that reason, I have personally closed most of my positions, and I'm waiting to find out tomorrow what the news is there. So without any of that news, though, we do still have our bear motion here. We are still moving down, but now for the coming week, we've likely found support here. I'm still, like I said, the jury's out based on what the FOMC meeting is tomorrow, but we've likely found support here for this week. So using all that info, let's dive into what we did last week with our 100 wax and see how that went. And I think this is actually kind of very interesting. I'm going to change off of my wallet here, and I'm jumping over to our DeFi wallet here. So last week we took all of our liquidity out of the pools that they were in, because those pools had all moved out of range. And then we took all of that liquidity, turned it into US dollar token. And then we took the US dollar token and created a liquidity pool position to buy back all of our wax. We had 169.2 or so wax when we started this. So let's take a look at the pool. There you go. Now the pool is out of range, and it's out of range in the opposite direction. So you can see here an unclaimed fees. It did exactly what we wanted it to do. So I'm going to zoom in here on our pool. You can see this is the current spot price. I'm going to swap it here. And in terms of wax is good. You can see we were 100% in wax when we started this. We took all of that wax, bought USDT with 169 wax, and then we took the USDT and created this liquidity pool, lopsided, where the spot price was on this side. And now you can see here the white line, the spot price has moved down, and now one wax is 4.7 cents right now. And so we've bought back all of our wax at this, in between these prices. And so instead of having 169 wax, now we have 178 plus our fees. This position is out of range now. So you can see out of range, we're not earning any fees. So no point in keeping this open. So first thing I'm going to do is close and claim fees. And then we're going to take stock of how much wax we have from last week. So I just say close. I sign the transaction. I'm going to come over here and then do a little refresh, and there you go. So with the fees and everything, we went from 169 to 180 wax since last week. Pretty solid. We also have a few USDT. We got 6 cents worth of USDT. That's like a little bit over one more wax if we were to swap that right now. And we got some Wombat, which the Wombat I think is still from Taco Swap. So I'm going to jump over to Taco Swap and take a look at our Wombat liquidity pool, which should also still be earning yield. And I think we just left the Wombat alone. I don't think we actually did anything with it last week. So if I come here, accounts and rewards, oh yeah, 63. So that's probably going to be close to basically the same amount that we made last week. So I'm going to withdraw those. And now we have 2 weeks worth of Wombat rewards. Let's take a look really quick at the Wombat liquidity pool and see if we want to use that. That position that I just closed on Alcor Swap, the 180 wax that we got from that was just from last week. We opened last week with, we started with 169 wax. We bought a bunch of USDT, and then we opened the position 100% as USDT with that price range. And then as the price fell, the USDT was used to buy into wax. And then we just closed the position 100% in wax. And that's how we ended up with more than, our 169 that we started with last week. And also we got fees and everything. Instead of just doing a limit order on the exchange, we also made some USDT and some wax as trading fees on top of just, getting more wax than we started with. Every part of that worked the way we wanted it to. Next thing I'm going to do is take a look at the meal pool. This is actually loading a lot faster, and I like that it now organizes based on deepest liquidity. That's really cool. So we do still have 11 days. We'll check back in 7. So I am going to compound our rewards from this last week into the Wombat pool. So I'm going to take a look at our liquidity tab up here. You can see we have 75 wax and 1500 Wombat. I'm just going to say add, and then I'm going to use the 180 wax counterpart that we just made from the liquidity pool on Alcor as the counterpart to put up the 6 wax. So we'll do that. And now we still ended up with more wax than we had yesterday or last week, plus deeper liquidity in this pool. We're now at almost 164 wax worth of liquidity in the Wombat pool, and we still have 174 wax just in liquid wax chilling. So what we should do this week is, because we're not, or at least I'm not 100% convinced that we're going to continue moving down, but I'm also not sure that we're going to spike back up. So we did mark out a range. Let's take a look at wax really quick as well. Wax also very cleanly staying in its down market, but you can also see it's starting to bounce here or find some support. You see here's the last time we found support after falling below this, which I had marked as support, which I guess it did act as support for a second before failing, retesting, and failing again. And then we just kind of blew through this 5.1 cent area. So right now you can see here's the bottom of the last time we found support, and that's where we are right now with wax as well. So between down here and where the strength band is, plus the last support level, which is about 5.1 or so cents, I feel like we could range here for the next week. So I would like to see us take some of our wax and sell it into USD, US dollars, on the way to 5.1 rather cents. And so we can actually do that again without having to source more USDT with just wax. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go into the pool. I'm going to say new position since we were out of range earlier. This time I'm going to use USDT, not wax USDT. So you can see USDT. Wax USDT is the bridged from wax from Ethereum USDT. There's less demand for it, and it has a lower peg at the moment, which that might actually be a good thing. And I do trust this bridge a little bit more. So you know what? We're going to use that one. Sorry for the wishy-washy conviction there. And so now what I'm going to do here, though, is you can see here's the price range, right? I want it to go to 5.1, like I said a second ago. And then on the lower end of my range, let's take a look at that. We're already kind of there. So let's say like 4 flat or something might be the bottom of this, right? So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to set this down to 4. So now if we're between 4 and 5, if I used 100, let's see. So this way I would need. Okay, I see. There we go. So what I want to do is I want to buy back into my wax up. So what I'm just checking out here right now what the levels are that I'm playing with. I don't have much USDT. So what I do have is wax. So I'm going to say, right from where the range ends, which is currently 4.7, we'll say, cents, we will buy or we'll sell our wax if it goes above this price. And we'll be done selling our wax if we make it to 5.1. Let's say 5.2. Like that. So we now have a range of about 11%. So if I then say, max, so I'm going to take 174 wax and add this liquidity, you can see because I've set my range outside of the current spot market, I only need wax to create this position. And now if I say refresh, there it is. So now you can see it's still out of range, but it is entirely comprised of wax. And now you can see here's the range. And from a price of 4 cents, 0.705, which we're currently at 4.691. So if this goes up just slightly, we'll start to sell our wax back into USDT. The goal is to have sold everything back into USDT by the time we retest this and then expecting to possibly pull back further and flip again. But in the next week or so, we'll probably get a bit of movement here. We are a little bit oversold. We are on old support levels, like it hasn't dropped below this mark in a long time, like a very long time, years. So very strong support here. We haven't seen it lose this support yet. So I think it's a relatively safe position for us to use this as the floor and then use the range on the way up as our trading range to create this liquidity position. And that's what we've done now. So we'll see how this plays out for next week. Until then, we will have 164 wax in liquidity here and 174 wax here. So what was that, 335 or something, 338 wax total between starting from 100 wax. We're doing all right. So that's actually where I would stop for the wax investment. I think we've done what we want. We've looked at the wax price, and we're using just the wax and the wax US dollar price to create some liquidity positions rather than trying to farm something. Let's just look really quick what farm options there are, though, because if I change this to highest APR, I do like high APR liquidity mining. It's just that the options for the assets that are available to do these high liquidity mining have so much risk of losing value that the amount that they earn me isn't going to keep up with the potential downside. And I don't see anything yet that jumps out at me. Like, for example, honey and wax. I'm very interested in a pool like that because I believe honey has a relatively hard floor around 2 wax. But yeah, let's see. KY is saying a hot take. I want to read this. A full set of AI chimps and 10 people seriously be on the shadow by. WARC, is that the name of the wax ape rave club? Rave club? That's it. WARC. Yeah, I kind of agree. It's honestly, that ape project is so much better than it has any business being. I bought it expecting a full rug, and here we are. The floor is almost 10x at this point. I think it's 8x now, and it's been less than a week. It's pretty wild. But yeah, let me finish finish my thought here before I get sidetracked with PFP NFT stuff, which is easy to do. Let me see what else we have in our wallet right now. I don't think it's anything worth. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's any big amounts of anything. So there's a good amount of different tokens in this wallet as well. These come from our staked honey. So you can see if you are on NFT Hive, if you click on your wallet in the top right, you can click on account and then wallet. And then you can see, actually I have some honey to claim from just trading, but then you can stake your honey here and you get a cut of all of the, drops, all of the secondary market being traded on NFT Hive. So if you are, having fun trading, like I was trading some of my apes, I listed my my Funko Pops through NFT Hive. I ended up with 40 honey the other day just from selling stuff, which great. You can come here, claim it, swap it right away, stake it, whatever you want. So if you're unaware, that is where honey comes from and kind of why I'm a big fan of the honey token. But again, I was looking for opportunities for us to farm here. Nothing that really jumps out at me. The biggest one I see is CMW wax. I don't hate CMW at these prices. It's pretty low, and they have a functional product that works, which is more than most of these tokens, I would say. But it's also, it's a product for renting NFTs that just doesn't necessarily have a market yet. So I'm not sure I feel super confident in jumping in on this, but 165% APR is pretty fucking solid. The next, I think the next biggest one that I saw would be this one, which is why some of these maybe are slightly higher APR, but much higher risk versus Wombat wax. And that's why I've opted for this wallet to be 100% of its yield farming in the Wombat pool. I just think Wombat has the most established tokenomics and is the most reliable of these token currencies. You do need to pay attention to when the Wombat like payouts happen though. So KY is actually letting us know here. Season payout is in 2 days. So yeah, if you're wondering which the better move is, usually when the payouts happen, there is a little bit of a blip in the market as people cash out. But generally speaking, it's not that like dramatic. It's not such a drastic thing. I haven't really noticed. I'm just gonna stay in the pool. There's only 11 days left of these rewards. I do hope they get renewed. If they don't get renewed, then next week when we take a look at the position, we might have to find a new way to use our liquidity to generate some more passive yield. But for now, I'm pretty happy with how we have it set up. We're still in the Wombat pool, and the other position is currently exposed exclusively to Wax. So you see, it's like we have 174 Wax, and if Wax keeps falling in price, okay, well, this position stays out of range, and we keep our 174 Wax. No harm, no foul. But if Wax does start to bounce a little bit and come up a little, we are ready to capture that upside potential back into USDT. So let's see how next week plays out. We'll have the time to readdress before any of these rewards kind of come to an end. Right now, I'm pretty happy with how this is laid out, though. So let's put a button on that.
So sorry, I've been AFK. I've been friggin'. I posted this in the Wax Ape Discord, and apparently, right when everybody joined, you were shitting on the project. Did not go well.
Oh no! He didn't damage control for me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
know. I mean, it deserves a little bit of shitting on, I'd say. But at the end of the day, hey, I'm showing it off on stream, and I'm going to tell you what I think about it. I think it's a little bit derivative, but I am also having a lot of fun. So,
me too. That's
and I'm really,
I'm like, the artwork's derivative, but it's fun and it's good for the Wax community at the moment. Like, it's getting people together and also supporting projects that need support. So, I don't know.
Yes. This is also good news. So it sounds like the rewards will be renewed, according to Adrian. So I'm probably going to chill in that pool for another month or more. Like, I really like that one. Let's see. For a little bit. I don't know. Was I talking too much shit? I don't know. Let me know in the chat. If they don't deserve it, I'll have to roll it back. But I feel like
I think they're upset.
I stand by what I said.
At a specific price, or you're saying you'd sell at a specific price. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't make it over $1,000. Although I kind of agree with. Let's see. Someone was saying it. Was it Gaz or 6-Bit? No, 6-Bit is not a fan of the apes.
6-Bit's the one that burned them. They're
6-Bit's the one who burned these.
6-Bit glitch. So we do have people in our community that are very anti-ape, but I don't know. You also shouldn't buy stuff you don't like, and if you do like it, you can buy it. Like that's the fun of collecting. Everybody gets to spend their money how they want to.
Oh, it was Pop and Stock. Pop and Stock. He wouldn't sell all of them for under 1,000. He'd keep a couple. I'd probably do that too. I have so many of these. I have like 11, so I'd probably sell 9 and maybe keep 2 if they were over 1,000. But honestly, by the time we get to 1,000, I probably have already sold like 7 or 8. Like I'm not the diamond's hands kind of guy who's gonna hold from what are we at right now for floor price here? I'm not the diamond handser who holds let's see, price lowest from $14 all the way to 1,000.
The other thing is I'll throw out, you don't know people's financial situation. You might be able to diamond hands to $100,000. I need to pay rent. Like, I don't have a job right now. This is what I do. So something I buy for fun suddenly becomes worth thousands of dollars. I'm going to pay rent with it. Like, I need the money more than I need the friggin' ape artwork. Sorry. Like, but everybody's individual situation is different. But like, I don't know. Don't judge us for not having as much money as someone who can diamond hands. Like, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the non-custodial stuff is great. The fact that they paid for the RAM to stake your stuff, so you don't even have to stake it to start earning the rewards. I feel like they're doing everything as well as you possibly can, especially for starting off with such a an anonymous launch and seemed like the red flags of rug pull written all over it. I'm glad to see that's not the case. And again, I bought some. I participated in the drop, and I feel good about it now that they distributed the money. So good, like kind of a good experience all around.
How's our planet doing? I'm not playing this server, and I listed like all of my lands. I don't know. I don't really like. I had a pretty negative experience on the last server for our planet, and I also had a negative experience on the first server for our planet. I'm like, so I'm not gonna do the third server because I don't know.
Just
I
negative all
also
around.
like. I'm a super hardcore gamer, and I don't like losing to the point where I'll ruin my life to win that game. So maybe if you're able to play casually, I don't have the self control to like let people destroy my bases while I'm sleeping. So I'll wake up in the middle of the night and like spend an hour defending my bases, and then go back to sleep and not sleep for more than like 3 hours at a time. I did that for like a month. Honestly, people are attacking me every night when I sleep. They learn my sleep cycles. Like the game, like I don't know, it's super hardcore. So personally, it's not healthy for me. It negatively impacts my life. But if you're able to play it more casually, maybe you'll have fun. But yeah, I'm trying to sell my stuff just so I don't ruin my life playing our planet. And Inadequate Mass says, do the apes earn rewards? Yes, 100% of the aftermarket volume is supposed to be paid out to the ape holders through WaxDAO. And I
So
think
you
they're
see,
voting right
there's a
now. It's either like every 3 days or every 7 days they're going to refill the pool, and then you can just go claim it on WaxDAO.
That's dope. So here you can see it's a 10% market fee. Here you can see the secondary market value. So each ape right now is going to get 6.1716 wax at the moment since launch. And so, as this number goes up, each ape is entitled to, moving the decimal point five digits here, 5 integers to the left. And that would be your share of the secondary market. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And KY is the top seller for Neon Space. That's true. By a big margin. You outsold, I think, even the Neon Space wallet. That's fucking awesome, though. Like, the fact that you can buy and sell this stuff is the fucking point.
Also,
like, I'm
the,
not trying.
the sales on the Neon Space wallet were auctions that 100% went to charity. We never, like, none of the stuff that's sold from our wallet on the aftermarket has been money that went to us at all. It's 100% been donated.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of, we should probably do a supernova for Blockchain Boulevard.
Yeah, the new let's see. I don't have my whole screen shared, but the new Cronenberg looks fucking sweet. I guess I'll wait till it's ready. It has music and everything. I don't have it ready with music. I was gonna try and pull one up, but
try to play the music. I'm not sure if I might change this music if you haven't rendered it yet. There's like one note I don't like. I don't know. I'll listen to it again.
Wait, did you outbuy my drop wallet? That's me. Let me check. Oh yeah, let's hear. Sorry,
I mean, if you can buy in all of Max's wallets, he's probably beating you. But
I probably beat you. Yeah. Let me see. Suck a dick.
This is the song that's going to be on the
top
Pro Neon Burn Neon.
Is number 1 or number 2 the top? I don't know.
I'm gonna re-render that. There's something weird. There's dissonance happening in the vocal harmony. I'm hitting a note that isn't in the chord. That like when you solo all the vocals, it's all in tune, and I'm seeing chords that make sense. But one of those chords doesn't make sense over the piano chord. So I'm gonna re-render that today, but that'll be on the Neon Rarity set bonus.
I spent a good amount of time like creating an airship with like animated propellers and stuff, and then like. Once I was almost done, I was like, "Oh shit! Only like 3 people are gonna get this NFT." It's an awful lot of.
You can show it off. Why not? We're talking about it. Did I download it already?
Oh, nice. Yeah, let's see if you can pull it up. It looks cool. It's definitely like. I'm a big fan. I'm excited that I completed my Neon set. So, boom. Paul wanted to be the pilot in the blimp, but he couldn't do it.
I think this is the coolest friggin' set bonus we've ever done.
I do too. I really like this one.
I was thinking for the song, I'm
And
just
then-
gonna remove the harmonies because the lead part definitely is in tune. So I'll just fucking keep that one and delete the friggin' whatever the shit that's out of tune is. It'll be an easy fix. I just need to re-render it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this one though. This is cool as hell. It's also fun to
blimp.
see like all the different flickerings all over the city is fun. Damn. Oh yeah, I saw that the magenta set bonus also very, very like rare. I don't know. I kind of like that when set bonuses are like, yeah, they are like this was a hard one to complete. So it makes sense.
Monosword says you're supposed to support your spouse's ambitions.
Do I not? Wait.
He's talking about putting Paul in the blimp. It's a joke.
Got it. Yeah.
He's a joke.
I don't know. It would have looked weird. He's what, having a live action Paul piloting that blimp? I don't know. He'd be in there like waving and stuff. Can't see myself to it. But
I was
yeah.
busy in the Wax Ape Rave Discord. Did you do the market analysis?
Yeah. We looked at it and we moved our 100 wax. We pretty much finished the text portion. Otherwise, it starts going in one ear and out the other. Also, we got to run. I got like 20 minutes. Let's do some more. What else is new right now? I know the
Rivals
Funkos
just
is on
did a
its
new
off
drop.
week. Oh, I bought a $5 pack from Rivals. They got me again. The $5 like rare pack for the rewind player. I got an
I think I'm
offensive
gonna stay
lineman.
away from the packs.
Yeah,
You can
it
buy
wasn't
the
great,
offensive
but
lineman right now for 1.99 myth, which is $1. That's $4 less than your
that's
pack.
yeah.
And then that gets
Yep.
me to the event, which will earn me a free pack, and then I don't have to buy one for $5.
That's what I should have done.
That's the
I had to roll the RNG dice. I was like, oh, here it is. But
I think
you know,
personally they're gonna fucking mint that stuff into zero. Like, it's not even
Yeah.
necessarily Mythical's fault at this point. It's the gamers. Like, those people don't care about mint structure to the point where they're like, I don't know, they're just fine burning money. They're like, I'm just gonna keep minting stuff, and then if I can buy a pack for $5 and then sell it for $1, that's $1 towards my next pack. So I'm just gonna keep doing that. And that seems to be like the MO of
Yeah.
people, which is just like, I don't know. Holding that stuff is definitely dangerous, but I'm glad I sold my BR yesterday for $500. That was a good time to sell it.
yeah. Can you buy that shit back right now? Let's see. I haven't even
got it.
checked. Yeah, pull
I don't even know.
up the mythical market.
I could have last
whoops.
night. There's one on sale for 400 or 800. Yeah, 829. I made over 1,000 for it, so I could buy it back right now for less.
Hmm.
I'm not going to though. 400 is way more than I'm willing to pay for a card in a game that's definitely just going to continue to get devalued.
Yeah. I mean, you still timed the top of that. That was pretty good.
I don't know if I timed the absolute top, but I did use that card to unlock multiple legendaries. So if somebody sold it for more than me, they didn't have the ability to necessarily unlock like Dak and the other players I was able to get for having him.
Yeah. My QB is
These
pretty
are-
trash, Mala Suerte, so I'm jealous of yours.
That's what you should be
I s-
looking for. They just dropped a rare quarterback, so now there's like you cannot have to buy a legendary quarterback. Let's see. That's this new set has new cards right here. $3.80. You can get yourself a rare quarterback. Like these packs are going to be great for people that don't have the cards they need, but because they're releasing rare quarterbacks, now you don't have to buy the legendary quarterback. So I can guarantee you the legendary quarterback floor just fucking took a shit because now you don't have to buy a legendary. And there's a budget option. The budget option used to literally be a legendary. There's nothing lower. So that's why, like,
Damn. That's less than the pack cost to buy a rare quarterback. I would have done that. I should
I
have
personally
What
would
was I thinking?
only use the aftermarket. In my experience, packs burn me 100% of the time in this project. Like, never have I bought a pack that was worth buying.
Yeah, that's
Thank you
I
for the
should have known
follow,
better.
Rob. Or Rob Robson. I read Rob 3 times. Rob.
Rob.
I don't know. I'm excited. Joe Burrow's also super good. He has some better stats than the. He's got some better stats than the actual like legendary quarterbacks. 150 long pass accuracy. That's more than my legendary
Damn.
quarterback. So, he's like probably the best quarterback in the game right now, and he's an epic. So I don't know. I'm probably gonna try to sell my Dak and get this dude. I'm sure Dak just fucking tanked though. I listed him last night.
I still just have like a non NFT quarterback. He sucks.
Yeah,
I might have
Dak is
to
down to
scoop one of
100.
these.
The floor of Dak last night was 175.
Damn,
So,
it's a big drop.
but I don't know. It's kind of exciting to have new players. It's just
Yeah,
definitely devaluing the market for everything. But also that was expected. Like that's literally why I sold my stuff and happened to
that
time
was
it
me this
very
morning.
well.
I was hoping I'd rip something good from my pack, minus Suerte, but honestly, I was just like, I'd be happy with any defensive player, offensive lineman.
I
Boo.
need one offensive lineman, but since I can buy one for $1, I'll probably just do that.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, you can get a kicker for $3, which is cheap. Oh, you can get a cheap wide receiver for $3. It's probably because he's worse than the dudes. Yeah, 91
Okay.
speed. Oh, what a friggin' slowpoke. The rookies are all
Damn,
faster
dude.
than that guy. There's a reason why he's
That
only
guy's hot garbage.
The one thing I will say is the fact that some of these guys are worse is actually very, very good news for us. Because there's a thing in these games called power creep, which means every time they sell a new set, the stats just keep getting better. So you have to buy all the new cards and you can't use your old cards. So the fact that they're releasing new cards that are worse than the old cards is actually good as far as like in-game utility value goes. I mean, obviously everything's going down in price. I think we're in a bit of a bubble, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's actually reassuring to see that like not every single card in this new set is better than the old set, because that just means like all of your shit is going to be useless in 6 months if you don't keep buying new stuff, which is like not the way I'm trying to play games. It's like the whole point of owning this stuff is supposedly so I can own it and use it in the game for the lifetime of the game, not that I have to just
Yeah.
keep buying new stuff every 3 months or my game items are not usable in the game. It's like
You're
no
like,
better than
look at this. I got a whole founders team. It's like, nah, dude, that's not competitive.
it's no better than Madden Mobile if like your cards become useless. Like in Madden Mobile, you literally can't use your cards in the next season. They just don't let you. You have to buy them again. But if my cards become so bad that they're not usable, it's essentially the same thing. So like, I don't know. It's nice. This also, I guess, in case anybody doesn't know, is a NFL licensed football game on the blockchain. It's called NFL Rivals. You can own the players as NFTs. It's on the Mythical blockchain, which is, I wouldn't say it's a private chain, but it's like a layer 2 Ethereum chain. But you don't log in with a wallet. Like, you just make a centralized account. You can't log in with a MetaMask or anything. And also, you can't get the stuff out of their centralized marketplace. So it's very centralized at the moment. In the future, they'll create a bridge to Ethereum, so it will be decentralized. You can trade it on OpenSea and stuff. But for the moment, it's very centralized. I enjoy the game, though, and I have fun playing it.
Me too. This is fun. It's right on your phone. You can play for free.
I've also done pretty well with it, but at this point, I don't really know that, like, I'd consider it a good investment. But as a fun game, like, it's very functional.
Yeah,
The
I
thing
see
I
you
would
have
suggest-
1,000 myth. Damn.
Yeah, that's from selling my thing. I sold it for 1, 2, 3, 4 myth, and I got over 1,000 from the payout. But
Fuck.
my recommendation, as I was telling Max, is not to buy the packs. Every time I buy a pack, I just get absolutely wrecked. There's $5 packs. Maybe I'd buy one of those, but that's like I think it's like a
I got wrecked.
150% discount. Normally those are $15. So they give you one really free pack or cheap pack, but the $15 pack you could pull 3 $1 cards out of. Like, and also I do every time. Like I always pull the worst stuff. So if I were trying to get in this game, I would buy what you need to compete off the aftermarket. And the way the tournaments in game work is they're paywalled by owning cards from the newest packs. So I currently cannot enter the newest tournaments, even though I have like legendary and epic cards from the last packs, because I have to buy the new packs. That's how they do sales. But what you should be doing, instead of buying every new pack, in my opinion, is buying this dollar card, and then that gets me access to the event where I think 250 people will win a pack. I'm good enough that I get top 250 consistently, so I can spend $1 and then unlock the $5 pack for that much. It'll be much harder if you're new to the game. The reason I can get top 250 is because I have legendary and epic cards. It's going to be much harder for you to get top 250 if you don't have a viable team.
Yeah.
So you will have to spend like a decent amount of money. You need like, honestly, you can get
Like
top
20.
250 without a defense. Like you need a defense for top tier meta, like top 100. Like I think if you win by 8 points every time, you're going to make top 250, but you have to be able to beat the top tier team in the PvP events, which means you at least need a good enough offense to score on the best defenses in the game. So I'd say you at least need a good running back and a good wide receiver. Like if you have one really good running back and wide receiver, those are probably the 2 highest impact positions on offense. Also quarterback helps.
Yeah.
The reason I also never said quarterback before is because it was impossible to get one. They were all legendary. But now that there's rare quarterbacks, like to get a quarterback, a wide receiver, and a running back, and if you're good enough at the game with just those 3 players, you can maybe make top 250.
Mm-hmm.
But
you can get good versions of those guys for probably like $15 or something, like $5 each or so. Maybe.
Yeah, the other thing is like you're betting on yourself. There is no guaranteed play to earn. You don't earn unless you play well. So like buying into this game is gambling on your own ability to play well in the events. That's what I consider. I wouldn't even consider an investment. It's gambling on your gameplay ability. Otherwise, there's no chance you're making your money back. That's also if you view this as an investment. It's a game. So if you just want to play it as a game, like you don't want to get your money back, then buy whatever you want.
I would say also to answer this, I already
broke even.
Yeah.
I broke even. I sold my Kittle for about $200, which is more than I paid to get into the game altogether. So I already profited. I'm 100% in the green, and I'm sitting on $500 right now. So I am, close to over $500 in profit. But also, I am one of the few. Like, very few people are doing what I'm doing. I'm playing this market perfectly. I just timed it literally like. The thing I sold last night for $1,200 is worth $800 today. Like, could not have timed it better, and that's happened multiple times. My Kittle sold for the peak, the highest a Kittle's ever sold for, because MMG showed it off on stream. So, like, I've been lucky and also just sweaty as shit. Like, I've qualified for every top 100 event besides the last one because I sold my guy that qualifies me. But, yeah, like, there's people who have bought in at the same time as me and not qualified for, like, half the events I qualified for. So, like, it's not guaranteed you're going to do as well as I did. So I don't like using my success as like, hey, everybody can do what I did, because you can't. Like, honestly, 100 people can do what I did. They're only the top 100 qualified for the stuff I get. And unless you're the best 100 people in the game, which is also included in pay to win, it's not just skill. You have to spend and be good. So, yeah.
I would say probably, yeah. If you're in it, if you want to like do the most high like value move, I think selling now and buying back cheaper is definitely going to be possible. But if you sell now, you lose your chance to participate in, the events that get you free shit, and that free shit can sell for quite a bit. Like Lewis's thing that sold for $500. I think you got that from an event, right?
Yeah. Both of my cards that made me money were not cards I pulled out of packs. They were cards I had to get in the top 100 for, and the only way you can get top 100 to unlock that stuff is by having a decent team. So, like, I don't know. For me, it was like
catch-22.
Even right now, it's like I could sell all my cards now and buy them back, but then I won't be able to do as well in the events. And like one of the events for an epic card was like top 150. So like if they do that again, like I'll need my team, and I can actually get top 150 right now. But yeah, I don't know. I like playing the game and I like owning stuff in the game. So yes, if I was just looking at this as an investment, sell everything now and buy back. But I want to play with all these cards. I like owning a legendary quarterback. I like owning a legendary running back and an epic wide receiver. Like, it's fun as shit to own these cards and like see them do better because I own them and actually like the game. So yeah, like it would be smarter to sell everything now because they're clearly devaluing the crap out of all this stuff. The market's tanking because of these new packs. But you should have sold your stuff before these packs out, to be honest. If you're just trying to sell your stuff, you already missed the boat. Like, now is not a good time. Well, I can't even say that. It could be better to sell now than in a week from now. But, like, if you wanted to sell, you should have sold before these packs dropped. Like, the market just tanked over the last night.
Yeah, Lewis also posted that in Discord. I sold a few things when you were like...
that's why I sold my Biard. Because, like, I didn't even want to sell my Biard. I love my Biard. He was, like, one of my favorite cards. But I sold it for $500. I can't hold on to a gaming item worth $500 when that's worth half my rent. Like, I don't really have a job right now or income. Like, so
same reason I can't. It's the same reason I can't diamond hand my ape to $1,000.
Same reason. It's like
not gonna happen.
And also, I know the value is gonna go down. So I'm just like, am I really gonna hold this thing when it goes from $500 to like $100 in 3 weeks? And it's like, I was like, worst case scenario, I can buy it back, but also I'm going to use that money to pay my rent. So
yeah,
is what it is. I'm excited for the new players though. Like, it's just fun to have new positions, and because, like, I don't know, I'll probably send $500 to my bank account, and then I get $50 to play with. Look at how cheap the cards are. I can buy 50 cards for $50 right now. Like, So now I have a bunch of, like, walking around money to, like, build a team, and no, I won't have the legendary card, but I'll be able to replace them with some very viable cards. In fact, let's look if I can.
It is pretty easy to go from myth to fiat using uphold, but you do have to
I can replace him
KYC.
a FS that did not exist yesterday for $20. The cheapest FS yesterday was $300. So like that's why I sold him, because like there will
Not
be
bad.
replacements for this guy. And also there's a really good one too, the Minka Fitzpatrick. He's actually worse though. Like, so I will say Biard is the best free safety, full safety. I fucking suck it. It's free safety. Fullback is running back. But yeah, this guy. People knew he was going to be a legendary, but his power is lower than Biard's power. Biard was at 130, so technically Biard is still the best FS in the game. So he is the top. Like, when people have unlimited money, they're going to buy that one over this one. But also, they're just going to release a mythic rarity that's above legendary, and then that will devalue both of these. So like, eventually, they're all going to come down. Like, there will be a mythic in every card. There isn't a mythic in every card right now. So as they release more of the top rarities, then it becomes a different chase for the whales, and then like the chase cards change and lose a ton of value, which is what just happened today.
It also sounded like they had a potentially like they're going to add a rarity above the rarest rarity, which is like, okay, that not great for your value if you think you're collecting the rarest thing.
I can explain what that is if you'd like to hear.
Okay.
That's not the case at all. Luminous is the new card. I thought it was a new rarity, but what it actually is it's a holographic card. It's a holo. It's a refractor. It's a special collector's edition, just collector version of the card. But it's this. They're the same rarity as their other cards, but they. This is also kind of BS. They have extra in-game utility, which they won't tell you what it is until after you spend a bunch of money on it, of course. But the in-game utility is speculated to be an animation. So, like, if you have a luminary running back and you sprint, it's going to create a different color fire or something. So, like, people are speculating it's not going to be like a better power or anything. Which honestly you can already check the power. Like those stats are out there. So it's going to be some sort of collector thing that probably has a cosmetic difference in the game, which is cool. I think there's guaranteed luminous packs though, which is kind of bullshit. Like if those are supposed to be rare collector items, they should be the rarest things you're pulling out of packs. Yeah. But I haven't even opened the app yet today. You might only be able to buy one of the guaranteed luminous cards. But even that seems like bullshit. Like if these things are supposed to be the rare pull cards, like you can't just buy a guaranteed hologram pack for tops. Like you got to pull the holograms, right? Like I don't know. I don't buy sports cards, so I shouldn't even be speaking as if I understand how the sports card pack market works. Maybe there is guaranteed fucking hologram packs for tops. I don't know.
That's true. Usually the holo, there is like foil packs and stuff for Magic where you can get a pack that's all foils, but they're like $50 for 15 cards. Like they're really fucking expensive.
Ooh, hell yeah, dude. This guy's only $7. I need one of these too. He must have shit stats if he's cheap. 114 speed, that's not a shit stat.
That's pretty good, yeah.
But we got to see his coverage. Zone coverage, 121, that's not bad either. Man coverage, 113.
That's a pretty good get.
What's his presence?
You have to see that in game, don't you? It's not like on here.
Oh, is it not?
Yeah, presence is like the only stat that only shows up in game.
If he has shit presence, that's why he's so cheap. Presence is also, the devs haven't actually told us what presence does yet, but the very highly speculated thing of what presence does is how good they are when the computer plays them. So like basically the better presence on a worse card will make it play better against, and since defense is 100% simulated, like that's kind of fucking important for your computer defense stopping the other team. So like the kind of meta is people just try to get the highest presence cards possible. And some people actually play stuff with lower power that has higher presence because they say it makes them do better. But that's also all like, you know, gamer myth. Like when we were playing Sea of Thieves and people would just be like, yeah, if you do this, your boat goes faster. And then we like later like, no, that doesn't do anything. Like, people just make up stuff because the devs haven't disclosed how it works.
I love that kind of gamer mythology though. That's fun.
Ooh, a Grant Delpit. Maybe I'll buy one of these mother truckers. Let's see.
Dude, I gotta surf this market. I still have...
speed? You kidding me? 130
what
speed.
The fuck?
And let's see.
I gotta surf this market again.
Man coverage 130, Zern coverage. So like I think what I'm gonna do, I probably won't do the stream. I'll also probably wait a few days. This is day one of the drop. This stuff's gonna go down as more people pull them.
Agreed.
So I'll probably buy one of these guys and one of these guys.
Ooh, Clash Dome has a Tetris game. I have to check that out. Prince X.
I wonder how the cornerbacks are doing too.
Nice. Shit, I gotta dip out and get on this call with Sid. But I can quick recap from what we talked about tech-wise today. I think the markets are cooling off a bit, but they've already seen a big jump down. So we're looking for kind of a little bounce this week. Hopefully, we're finding a support. And then for our 100 wax, we just basically took what we had in the liquidity pool and moved it closer to the spot price to try to basically buy back on the way up, back into USDT. To then we'll see what we do next week.
Did you see that somebody just filed like a motion to replace the head of the SEC in Congress?
Yeah, I don't know how well that'll play out, but
it's funny seeing the Twitter comment though. Like everybody just like send him home on the fucking like I don't know crypto Twitter.
I mean, a lot. The reality is that like the SEC's been doing a lot of moves that are very much like throwing a wrench into the crypto industry, and there's a lot of real people doing legitimate things in crypto that are really upset by that. So it makes sense to me. Like, fuck those guys. Like, get your shit together. You can't just call everything a security years after we asked you what the fuck is a security.
I also saw a video where like when that guy was teaching at MIT, he like said Bitcoin and Ethereum were not securities. I guess he changed his tune kind of at some point.
Yeah, fucking dickhead. He basically these days he's like everything that isn't Bitcoin and Ethereum is a security. It's just like how does that work if these things are literally direct like implementations of the same technology? It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, we'll jump back in
on Thursday at noon. We have Sammy Snake and Nova Rally coming on. So
and look, there's Paul.
Then, Max.
There's Paul. Oh, you got a quick glimpse of him.
KY, how easy it to go to Myth to Fiat? It's actually very easy. You can immediately withdraw your Myth into, well, easy depending on where you live. You have to use Uphold. Uphold is the only exchange that, Uphold is like, it's like a custodial crypto wallet / centralized exchange. Uphold's kind of weird. It's like, you hold crypto in there, but then also it routes trades for you, I'm assuming through their own like CEX. But that's really the only place you can trade Myth besides Uniswap. And you have to withdraw to Uphold, but then Uphold only works in certain regions. Like Uphold does not work in Germany, I do not believe. Because I know like our German folks in our community that tried to play Blankos were unable to sell their Blankos and cash out. So you literally can't get the money out of Mythical. You have to have an Uphold, and if Uphold doesn't work in your region, you're shit out of luck. Hope you like holding the NFTs forever because you're not getting the Myth out. But if you live in the U.S., it's at least, I can't even speak for everybody in the U.S. If you live in California where I live, I've had no issues with Uphold. Uphold works fine. You can withdraw immediately to Uphold, so it takes like no time to get the Myth from the marketplace to Uphold. But what does take time is to get it to your bank account. It probably takes like 3 days, but you can get it into US dollar value and Uphold immediately. Like you can immediately spot trade Myth into US dollars and you're holding the US dollar values. It's just like any centralized exchange. I think it takes 3 to 4 days to transfer to your bank account. So that's how easy it is to go from Myth to Fiat. Which is something I did last week and helped pay my rent with it. I sold my Kittle and then transferred it to my bank account and then used my bank account to pay rent. So it's pretty not hard at all, but also you just have to be able to do Uphold. Also, Uphold is like KYC and stuff. It's centralized. So if you have an issue with KYC, then you might have an issue. But they seem to be a very reputable company. I had no issue verifying my identity with them. Also, I've been using Uphold for years because it's what Blankos use. So like I already had all of my information verified and whatnot before Rivals came out. So I didn't really have to do anything. But if you're new, you will have to go KYC. You also have to KYC on this marketplace. That's how they stop multi-counters. You can't buy and sell stuff on this. I think you can buy stuff, but you can't sell it, which is kind of funny. But maybe you can't buy it anymore either. But at one point you could buy it, but then when you tried to list it, it was like, okay, you got to verify your identity, which is great because like otherwise people can multi-account the crap out of this game because, as I was saying, like top 250 players receive NFT prizes. What's stopping people from playing on 10 accounts and just buying one pack to qualify and then dumping all the profits? It is that you can't use the marketplace without KYCing. So unless you have multiple social security numbers, it's going to be pretty hard to multi-account this game, which I appreciate. I honestly think centralization is the only way to stop multi-accounting and people abusing the system. And more games need to be centralized in the NFT space. Otherwise, they get abused by exploiters. So I know some people are huge fans of decentralization, and I am when it comes to financial protocols, but in the sense of gaming, I kind of prefer it, to be honest. And as I was saying earlier, you'll be able to move this stuff to Ethereum if you would like it to be truly decentralized in the future. But for now, it's all stuck on this marketplace, which is very centralized. Also, I don't know if you'll even be able to bridge it to Ethereum. You might have to like KYC to get it over to ETH. I also don't think it's worth it to move it over to Ethereum. People are like, oh, I want to move it to Ethereum so I don't have to deal with the mythical marketplace fees. The gas fee to move your stuff over to Ethereum is going to cost more than like you're going to save in the fees. Like it costs like $50 to move a Blanco from the Mythos chain to Ethereum. And most Blancos don't even sell for $50. They sell for like $10. So it's like, why would I spend $50 in gas fees to move something out of the mythical environment where like, even if I sold it, like the gas fees just to send the Ethereum, like to an exchange wouldn't be worth it. So I don't know. To me, it doesn't really make sense to try to bridge the stuff to be decentralized. Also, if you bridge it, it no longer works in the game. So like you can't play with it. If you look at my account right now, I'm selling a bunch of stuff while playing with it. Like my Dak Prescott is on sale, my Christian Fulton, my Tyler Bass. Like all of these guys are listed and they're in my lineup. So I'm playing with them while they're listed. And then if they sell, they just leave my lineup. But you cannot do that if you bridge them to a decentralized chain because the decentralized wallets do not interface with the game. Only the centralized ones do. So I don't know. Even though like they are adding decentralization, like it doesn't really make sense to me. Like unless some of this stuff gets way more valuable. But I don't see why you'd hold a game item out of where you can play the game. Also, what's going on, Mahala? I need to start waking up earlier before we stream. I woke up like 3 minutes before Max went live and typed typos all over the place and had scrambled thoughts. I was reading a bunch of NFL Rivals stuff before I went to sleep. That Rivals pack went on sale at like 7 a.m. or something, and I was like seeing all the crazy stuff happening at like 7 a.m. and I was like, oh, I should go to sleep, but it's fun seeing like all the stuff people's pulling. I want to see if I can find a Luminous card. I don't really know if I know what those look like yet. But Luminous is the new... Luminous is the new like holographic chase card. I don't think they even have a filter for it. But I believe they have orange backs. So yeah, I don't know how you find it. Oh, this is the Luminous, I believe. Maybe not. How do we see? I wonder if Burst is going to get this guy. I know he's a Dolphins fan. He's pretty cheap. God, I might sell a bunch of my stuff and just replace it with rares. Like now that the rare market is tanking, I feel like I'm good enough for this game that I can carry myself without having like a bunch of epics and legendaries, but we'll see. I'm going to put my Dak on sale for cheaper, especially if Joe Burrow is better than Dak. Like why the fuck am I holding Dak? So let's check the floor of Dak. This is the card I didn't get last night that I'm upset about. Because my Biard sold, there's no way I was getting top 100 in that event. I also probably wouldn't have anyway, though, so I definitely am happy that I sold my... I'm happy that I sold my card at the peak instead of holding it and then potentially not getting the reward and having the price tank. $100 is the floor. That's $50, and then I think Joe Burrow is $35, right? $19. Fuck yeah, dude. I'll sell this thing for $100. Buy a Burrow to replace him. I wonder what the legendary floor is too for quarterbacks. I was gonna try to trade my Dak for well, that's not gonna work anymore. Yesterday Dak was selling for more than the rookies, so I was gonna try to sell my Dak and then buy a I wanted to get a, what's his name? Not CJ or Anthony. I wanted to get a Bryce Young. Bryce Young is the best of the rookies as far as stats goes. I think he's also the number 1 draft pick, so, you know, speculatively he will be the best of the rookies. Richardson is consistently the cheapest. He's like a scrambling quarterback. He has a ton of speed if you look at his stats. 128 speed, which is nuts for a quarterback. But then if you look at his throw accuracy and power, it's like 120, which is not great. And if you look at someone like Bryce, he has way less speed. He's got a 107 speed, way less. But then if you look at his throw power and accuracy, it's much better. 140 and 140. And if you've played this game, you pretty much never run with your quarterback. It is not the meta. So people are value Richardson much lower, and is also why I wouldn't want him. But I don't know. I'm gonna try to sell my Dak for 100. Why not? What mint is this? 26. Should I do it for 99.99 and be a dick and just slightly undercut him? It's also crazy. The floor was 175 last night. It came down fast, which makes sense. There's better options for cheaper right now. Like, I can show you Dak stats. I think it's worse than Joe Burrow, which makes no sense. He's a rarity worse. Yeah, 145 and 130. Joe Burrow has a farther long pass accuracy, which is like, I don't know. Like, every time I play this game, I'm trying to bomb long passes. It's the meta. So I'm going to try to sell my Dak, and I'm going to try to get me a Joe Burrow, but likely this thing won't sell immediately. 99.99. Let's see what that's worth. $43. That's double the price of a Joe Burrow. Let's go. I'm gonna be so pissed if like all the Joe Burrow sell and then mine sells and then I don't have enough to get it somehow. But that's the game. I also wonder if I should sell my Bijan. This guy kind of sucks. Like, his speed is 120, which is the same as I have Etienne Jr., who's a rare. You can see this 120 speed. And then, where's my Etienne Jr.? Etienne Jr., 117 speed. But when you upgrade them to level 5, they have identical speed. So it's like, this guy's 2 rarities higher, which generally means he sells for much more, but his stats really aren't that much better. The thing about the rookies, though, is like, if he performs well in season, he'll get upgraded. So he will be better, much better later in the season. But until September, it's not going to really matter. Oops, this is the wrong. Let's look at draft. So for the rookie cards, if they start in the first game of the season, they get +5 power. If they start in more than 9 games, they get +10 power. If they're rookie of the week for any weeks, they get +10 power. All rookie team end of year is 15 power, and then each position can have power added based on the performance. So for quarterbacks, playing in 10 games is 5 power, 1 TD is 5 power, 10 TDs is 10 power, and 2,000 yards is 10 power. So like, and for rushing, it's 500. 500 yards is 5 power. I don't want to read all these, but anyway, a lot of these are very obtainable if you have a starting player. Like, if you get a rookie that's trading time with someone else, you might have an issue. But if you're getting like a starting quarterback, like 10 TDs in a season is not like an unrealistic goal. And 2,000 yards, like, I was looking at Dak. I think Dak got injured a few years ago. He only played like 9 games, which is like half the season, and he got enough TDs and yards to qualify in like half the amount of games. So like, if your player's starting the entire season, they're likely going to get a lot of these stats. The issue is like some of the rookies are like trading off and they're not going to start. So it does depend. And that's where I look at this for. I know nothing about football, but like, I look in here and I just see like, you can read like the post-draft analysis. It says young skill set is an ideal fit in Frank Reich's offense, which mixes a passing game that attacks multiple areas. And then it says like, the one I really look like is projected 1 year impact, rookie of the year. But like, this will tell you if they're starting, because some of these will be like rotational starter. Yeah, day 1 rotational contributor. That means he will not be playing every play and not be starting all the time. So like, you can kind of suss through these rookies to figure out who's actually going to play and get upgraded. And I want to say Bijan is going to be starting. Yeah, they say projected year 1 impact, rookie of the year candidate. Robinson enters a situation where he will be a go-to option right away as a runner and receiving out of the backfield. So I expect Bijan to be upgraded, but currently he's not much better than the way cheaper version. Yeah, Joe Burrow is honestly the only player I've heard out of any of these players from the new pack. I don't follow football at all, so like, somebody has to be a pretty popular player for me to know who they are. And Joe Burrow is a name I know, so I was like, when I saw him, I thought he was going to be a legendary because like, he was the only name I recognized. So it's kind of crazy to me he ended up being epic. And Dak also isn't that great. Like, I looked at his career, like, he does okay, but he's by no means like a top tier quarterback, I don't think. So it's weird they made him a legendary and Joe an epic, but maybe the devs are fans of the Cowboys. Let's see. Hopefully I can sell this guy and then replace him. And I want to take a look at the running backs too. Running backs. We don't need to look. He's selling for 150 myth. Let's see if I can replace him. Ooh. What is this guy's name? Ramondre? Is that a name? 108 speed. That's worse than my. He's no Travis Etienne Jr. I will say though, like an option for a rare running back for $2. Like I kind of love how accessible this game is becoming. Everything was in a bubble before, like. So it's kind of nice they're flooding the market a bit, just so like new players can actually buy into this. Like, it used to cost like $50 for 3 cards, which is just like, how the hell am I supposed to build a team with like 20 something players when it costs like that much money? It's super unrealistic. But like $2 a player, and if you're buying 20 of them, like $40, that's not a crazy buy-in for a video game. So this is, I think, more reasonable. I kind of appreciate it. Wonder if Pacquiao or Pacheco, I don't know. Pacheco? I don't know how you say this guy. Isaiah. Wonder if he has better speed. No, this guy's worse speed too, so this rare option is better than this guy. I think these are just valued for the collector because they have a hard mint cap, and these do not. These are mint on demand, so these could end up getting much more. So I think a lot of the like older sets are kind of like collector value more than it is in-game value, because this guy's clearly worse than that guy. Ooh, Jamar Gibbs just tanked. Jamar Gibbs is one of the ones where I don't know if he's going to be starting all the time. So I think the team he got drafted to has another viable running back. Jamar Gibbs. It says, day 1 rotational contributor. I don't love this label for Gibbs because Rookie of the Year candidate, but the line's depth at running back means they won't have to lean on him unless Swift continues to have problems. So I believe like they had another player that was injured, but assuming that guy stays healthy, Jamar Gibbs isn't going to be playing every down, so he might not get all the yards he needs. It's also weird how much I know about football now. Like, I don't follow football at all, and I can, like, analyze all the draft picks from the first round, and, like, I'm learning how the team's offenses operate, what teams have injured players and stuff. I'm like, it's weird I know all this stuff. I haven't watched a football game in, like, 5 years, but I'm going to go home and school my dad and my brother, like, this Christmas when we're all talking about football, and be like, I actually, this player didn't. I don't know. Probably not. They probably still over. If they're not in this game, I know nothing about them. So I only know the players in this game. Let's see. Jamar Gibbs has 118 speed. Yeah, he's also not that great. Like 118 is the same speed as Travis Etienne Jr. That's why he's so cheap. Travis Etienne Jr. is actually more expensive now. That's something I was not expecting. Oh, here's DeAndre Swift. This is the guy that's going to be stealing the ball from Jamar Gibbs. You can get both of them. Holy crap, this dude's got 130. Holy crap, that's good. 139's amazing. How is this card so cheap? $14? This card should be, like, I'm tempted to buy this right now. That's so fucking fast. 139's like one of the fastest running backs in the game. That's faster than the legendary running back I have. DeAndre Swift, don't sleep on that guy. Holy shit, that's a good stat. You know what? Your boy might just fucking sell his legendary and buy this guy. If I can get a DeAndre Swift. Let's see, I'll list it for like, let's see what the legendaries are selling for. I also, by the way, didn't look at any of this stuff before I woke up. So like, this is me live reacting to what I'm seeing on the market. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, you can sell this guy for $76, and then how much does the epic running back sell for? 17. So yeah, I'm gonna try to sell my fucking. There's no reason to hold this legendary if I can replace him, even though he'll probably get better later. Like, this card's gonna be worse for several months, and also I think the market's gonna tank so much by then that like even if he is better later, he's not gonna sell for more. So let's sell it. 128. Go for it. I also got this as a reward, so if I make $65, that was like, and same with my DAC. If my DAC sells for $50, that's all from like just playing with the cards that I got. So it is possible to earn in this game, but again, I said it earlier, gambling on your own ability to play well in the events. Nothing is guaranteed. There is no like guaranteed earnings. Only the top players earn anything. So if you can't play well and you buy a bunch of stuff, you won't earn anything. The other thing I need is an offensive lineman. So let's see if I can find a OL baby. $1. That's so cheap. I might buy this guy just so I can get into the event. Ooh, who's this guy? Ethan Pokic. Posick. He's got 115 pass block, 118 run block, and this guy has 117 pass block and 106 run block, so he is a little worse. But this guy, if I buy him, he gives me access to the event that allows me to get, like if I get top 250 in the next event, I'll get a pack that opens for potentially a better card than this. So I feel like I'm going to buy him just to, you know what, 2 myth, that's the cheapest like cards I've ever been on this mark. I'm just going to buy this guy. I don't know if this is a good buy. This is probably the worst card of the new set. But again, I'm just buying him for the access, not because I think he's the best. Unless I can find a epic, let's see. So I wanted to get an epic. I sold my rare offensive lineman to try to upgrade him. This was like 18 yesterday, so this has come down significantly too. But I don't know. I don't need an epic in this set. If I get an epic in this set, this is what I need actually. Like an epic in this set. You know, I'll probably wait a minute. I do think these prices might come down, and I don't really want the rare guy. I'm just gonna like, I get him just for the access, and then he'd probably become even more worthless after I buy him. So I'll try to wait until this epic price comes down a little bit. This is not a bad price though. Epics were selling for 18 yesterday, so this is cheaper than the price yesterday, and it gets me access to the event. I just think if people rip more of these, like what's happening right now is the whales are ripping a ton of packs. And they don't need anything below legendary, really. So, like, they're just trying to get these legendary guys. They're trying to get Zach Martin. So, every single person that gets a Zach Martin is going to dump their epics. Same with, like, if you get Paris Johnson. So, like, it's kind of why I live on the lower floors. Because as people pull the chase cards, they just dump all the lower ones. And also, they're pulling, like, you got to open a bunch of packs to get your higher cards. So, a lot of those guys, even if they need one of these guys, like, even if they need the epic one, they're going to pull like 4 of them before they pull the one they need. So they have a bunch of duplicates and then they just dump them on the floor. So I do think like these packs have been out for less than 12 hours. Like as more people open these packs, like you're going to see more stuff dump on the floor. That's also why like, I don't know. I don't even necessarily think it's Mythical's fault. Like I think it's the gamer's fault all this stuff is getting devalued. Like the gamers are like, if I can sell this shit for $1 and I buy it for 20, that's good, better than Madden. So like people are literally just burning money because like I don't know, they burn money in Madden and they get nothing back for it. So like they're doing the same thing on this game and just getting slightly back, but like they're not really like caring about min structure or like doing the best investment strategy or whatever. Like people are not approaching this as an investment platform that are gamers. So the gamers are really devaluing it for the people that consider it an investment. But that's why I don't know, at this point I wouldn't really consider this an investment. Like based on the way the market's moving, like people are just going to mint this stuff into oblivion until like it's worth so much less than the drop price. It's like these cards essentially I think should be like $15 each. It's like $15 for one card in a pack. So like the fact that people are spending $15 then immediately dumping it for $1 is just like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that doesn't happen as often in the NFT space. And if you knew you could spend the $15 and get a $1 thing out of it, you just go buy it on the aftermarket. But players just keep minting more packs instead of buying stuff in the aftermarket, like, which is also partially because the players don't necessarily know the aftermarket exists all the time because like nowhere in the game does it have a link to the aftermarket. You have to just know or join the Discord. So I think what happens a lot of times is people just mint a shit ton of fucking cards, then they come in the Discord and they're like, "How do I trade?" And then they're like, "Oh, you can do it on the aftermarket," but they already like minted shit for way over the price they could have bought it for in the aftermarket because they didn't know it existed. So like as new people get into this game, they're just going to constantly over mint stuff that already has a bunch on the aftermarket because they don't know it exists. So like the more people that get into this game, the more like oversupplied all this stuff is going to get. And that's not Mythical's fault. That's Apple's fault. It's against the terms of service to link to an external marketplace. So like they mentioned that you can trade it on the Mythical market, but they can't actually link it in game. So that's like an Apple TOS issue at the moment. But I don't know. Exciting stuff. New cards. I don't really know what's going on with the Luminary, if I'm being honest. I want a Luminary card. I'm a D-Gen. Ooh, what is this? Defensive tackle. The defensive tackle I picked up has like legal issues. I was like, this guy rocks. Then like I talked to Mark about him. He's like, that guy was like almost just arrested. I was like, oh, good. my player might fucking not even play this season because he has legal issues. But he is a kick-ass player. He's like the top drafted DT. Jalen Carter. Also got me a Lucas Van Ness. This guy's friggin' huge. Just finished my daily Tetra blocks, playing Clash Tome. I'm back. Welcome back. I'm still ranting about NFL Rivals. This also is not scheduled content. Honestly, I probably should have stopped the stream when Max finished the tech talk, but I just happen to be looking at this stuff out of my own curiosity, so why not do it live? Yeah, we'll see what happens. I doubt any of this stuff is going to sell anytime soon, but if either of these sells, I'm going to replace them with the new cards that are cheaper, that have pretty much the same stats. But if not, I'm also not worried about it because I already made my money back and then some on this game. The thing I'm most interested about is what is the holograph like? So there's the new Luminous cards, but like nowhere on the market does it tell you where the Luminous cards exist or like. Maybe I'll launch into my game. Give me a second. I'm gonna plug in my capture card and see like if we can figure out some Luminous information in game. Got my handy dandy iPhone to HDMI adapter, which we need to use to show off my screen. I'm also so friggin' hungry. I haven't eaten yet today. I like woke up immediately and hopped on stream. Also hot as fuck in my room. Uh-oh. Something just froze. Y'all can still hear me, right? Let me restart this virtual webcam. The hell is going on here? Something about plugging in my capture card just wrecked my webcam. Also froze in a real awkward position. I just need to reset the webcam. Give me a sec. Deactivate. There we go. I don't know. I'm still having fun with Rivals. Rivals has been my favorite NFT gaming project for a while. It's also not perfect. Like, they have a ton of issues. But at the very least, it's a playable game that I have fun playing. The biggest issues are really, like, people freeze. Like, there's some sort of glitch with the game where people freeze and then they lose their energy and then they can't qualify for the NFT unlock. So people are spending hundreds of dollars and, like, because of glitches that are no error of their own, being locked out of the ability to unlock rewards. So that is definitely not cool. And I don't know, the issue is it doesn't happen to everyone. I've never had a crash once the entire time I've been playing the game. I've qualified for like every event. So like it doesn't happen to everyone. It only happens to some people. So it definitely seems to be like, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be an easy problem to solve because it doesn't happen to everyone. It only happens to some people. So like I understand the dev part of it, but I also understand like the extreme frustration from customers who are spending tons of money and then getting screwed and they're not really doing much about it, or at least it appears as if they're not really doing much about it. But I don't know. It is what it is. I'm going to show off Rivals first before I do anything else. Awesome. I don't have this application installed because I reinstalled my hard drive. Oh, yeah. Actually, I do. We're good. We're good. Like, all of my gaming stuff got installed because my hard drive crashed on my computer. It sucked. Except now it's not showing my phone. What's going on here? All right, now we got my phone. Yeah, I just gotta change my screen. Capture card. Somehow this shit is... Don't know why the screen is the wrong size. What the hell is going on here? There's like a giant black screen here. There. I don't know what's going on with that. Perfect. It's definitely not really what I wanted to look like, but close enough. Close enough for rock and roll. New message. I'm sure it's that they have new packs available. League rewards. It's promoted. Got me some gems and conditioning points. That's how you upgrade your players. Yeah, these are like the NFT rewards. So if you can see top reward, that's a pack right there. So top 250 people get a NFT pack, but if you don't get top 250, you get no NFT. So the only earning capability is for the top players, and you'll be able to see the new one I can't enter. It says X, 1X Rivals Rewind player. So I can't enter this tournament. You have to buy a player out of one of those packs to be able to play. So that's kind of how they gatekeep the unlock rewards. So there is kind of like a never-ending scale of like, you need to buy a player in the new pack. But my recommendation is if you want to like continuously get access to this is before the new packs drop, sell something from the old packs while they still have value, and make sure you have enough. Like as I was showing you, there's a $1 player on the floor. So if you have a really great team and spent a bunch of money on the old packs, for $1 you can start doing these new packs. And like, I don't know, like enough of these events, like if you can do a couple of these, then you'll get 4 players. And then if you have 4 rare players, you'll be able to get in the epic event. And then the epic event will give you an epic player, and that qualifies you for the next event. So the rewards daisy chain if you can consistently get them. Like on the first one, all of my rewards led into the next event, so I didn't really need to buy that much. But if you don't win the events, then you just need to keep buying stuff to be able to enter them. So it can end up getting very expensive if you don't do well in the game. But I want to see the shop packs is what I'm looking for. This Luminous Rory Wine pack. Josh Jacobs or Minka Fitzpatrick? Who's Josh Jacobs? Because Minka Fitzpatrick's a legendary. I feel like everyone's pulling Josh Jacobs. I bet if I go look, Josh Jacobs is cheap as what have you. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that there's like a... Oh, this guy's a legendary too? Are you telling me you get a guaranteed legend? There's no way that's right. These would not be selling for $250 if you get a guaranteed legendary. I must have misread something there. It has a chance to pull. It doesn't tell me what else has a chance to pull. This morning I saw people opening several of these $100 packs. So it's just like, that's when I knew the floor was going to tank. It was like, people with the best teams in the game are just buying these packs like willy-nilly. And it was like, they're going to get a bunch of cards that are not as good as the cards in their team, and they're just going to dump them to try to buy more packs. Like, yeah, you can get 2 epics and 3 rares right now. Like, let's go look at the aftermarket. This is a $100 pack. Let's show you how badly you can fuck up buying this pack. Back to the aftermarket. This epic is $20, but let's see what the cheapest epics are, because you're not guaranteed to freaking get a good epic. And if you're me, you'll pull all the worst stuff, because I always do. Epic. Program. Rivals Rewind. You can get an epic that costs $4. So let's say you get 3 $4 epics, that's $12, and then you get 3 rares that cost $1. You can pull $15 worth of cards out of a $100 pack. Like, you can get wrecked. So my strategy is not to buy the packs. It is to buy off the aftermarket. I learned my lesson from the first ones. I bought packs for $50 and got 2 commons and 1 rare. A couple of weeks later, like, the rares were selling for like $5 on the floor. So it was like, I spent $50 for commons, or I spent like, what is that, $15 each for a common, and then for a fraction of that price, you could get the next higher rarity. So to me, it makes no sense to open the packs. If you get lucky, you can make money. You're just gambling. It's like any pack opening. Like Max opened a pack and sold his guy for like $100, and then I paid for the pack. But again, it's just a gamble. If you're trying to get in for the absolute cheapest possible, pack opening is not the smartest strategy. There's people who opened like thousands of dollars worth of packs, and it would have been cheaper if they just bought the legendaries directly off the aftermarket. Like the RNG is not that good. But if you like gambling, I mean, pack opening's fun. Can't take that away from anybody. Let's see. Man, I really want some of my stuff to sell so I can buy some stuff. I guess I just had something sell last night, so I don't really need anything to sell. I don't really want to replace these guys until I know that they sold more for than things to replace them. That's how I do all my stuff in this game. Like, I sell it for more than the replacement, then I replace it. And that's worked like consistently for me. But you can see I sold my Beard for, I got $536. Pretty good sale. But I also sold this guy, Trey Smith, he was a rare lineman. I sold for 17 myth. I got 14 myth. If you look right now, you can get a rare lineman for 2 myth. So I definitely made a good call there. Right here, 1.99 myth. Yeah, people are undercutting each other too. Like, does this Frankie Louvu guy suck? Like, linebacker's a pretty desirable position. 86 speed. Holy crap, this guy sucks. That's so slow. No wonder he's so cheap. So you also have to check the stats. Like, just because someone's a rare card doesn't mean he's better than a common card. Like, you might be able to find a common linebacker that's actually better. Let's see. There's just like no common cards. There's 430 common cards and 2,000 rare cards, and there's double the amount of epics than commons. They just don't release commons. But let's see if we can find a linebacker. Actually, there's 0 linebackers that are available. That's why I was saying linebacker is an actual desirable position. It's weird to see them that cheap because every linebacker was selling for much more than that because there weren't enough of them. Yeah, new stuff. I'm probably going to spend way too much time today just refreshing this market and looking at stuff. The other thing that's crazy about this game is people multi-count and trade stuff on the floor. So, like, people will not dump, but they'll sell their legendary for 2 myth and then buy it on another account. So there's no way to functionally trade. But there are some people who just sit here and refresh and snipe them. So, like, you can potentially snipe a legendary from a multi-counter if you just sit here and refresh all day. And we've seen it happen in the Discord. It's pretty wild. It was also much more wild when the legendaries were selling for like $400 or $500 because then, like, you know, somebody literally sniped like $500 for $1. But I also, like, I don't know. I'd say I feel bad for the people, but those people are multi-counting to abuse the system to steal rewards from honest players. So fuck them. If you're multi-counting and like stealing from the community, basically, you get what you deserve when you fucking are trying to break the rules to multi-count. Let's see. Was there anything else I wanted to go over? I did kind of want to look at that Uniswap thing. I'm surprised Max didn't see this. Usually Max beats me to news. But at 5:57 a.m. today, which is when I was still awake looking at NFL Rival stuff because I'm a degen, Uniswap announced that they're not even like they didn't announce Uniswap v4. They announced their vision for Uniswap v4, but they just released like the entire code on GitHub publicly, which is pretty wild. I think in the past they've released, like, it hasn't been publicly released until after. So now like v4 exists as code before it's implemented, so people can go like try to improve it or give their feedback on it or whatever. But I'm not going to pretend I know how this works. Like, I looked at this for a second. This is like v4. I'm just like, huh? like, what in the actual fuck is this? This is how the liquidity pools are going to work. And I'm like, I'm going to wait until Max understands this and explains it to me like I'm a child, because this shit is, I don't know what the fuck this is. Looks like they have like Pokemon like, this looks like a cartridge going into a Game Boy. Is that how crypto works? Like, I don't know what the fuck this is. But we just got Uniswap v3 on Wax, so like it's kind of crazy that they're okay. Here we go. It's v3 versus v4. Still don't know what any of this shit means. Now you're trading through a thing with a fucking. This looks like there's like a Game Sharks. That's what I'm looking for. Like when you plugged like the thing into your controller that had like the cheat codes, then you like a Game Boy Game Shark. You plug a cartridge into that. That's what that reminds me of. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of cool that they're just releasing it publicly so anyone can use it. Oh, AI gave us a rundown. Maybe I can understand that. Uniswap recently announced the release of its version 4. I thought AI wasn't supposed to be able to see live updates. Like it was trained on data that's 2 years old. The major highlight of Uniswap v4 is the inclusion of hooks or plugins that allow developers to create custom liquidity pools. This update brings more customization options, putting developers at the forefront and enabling endless possibilities for various DeFi applications on the platform. However, no specific deployment date has been set yet, as Uniswap Labs anticipates feedback from the community before determining the next course of action. I feel like I almost summarized it that well, but like that doesn't actually say how anything works. The part that I don't understand, the thing I was saying looks like a Game Boy thing, is the hooks thing. That makes it better, but I don't get how the hooks work. I guess I don't necessarily even need to understand how the hooks work. If they work better, you can just use them. They got a unicorn video. It's kind of a cool video. Let's see, how's Mythos doing today? My target sell for Mythos is 50 cents. I'm hoping. Oh, it hit 50 cents. I should have put it in a limit order. But that's the token that, like, I sold Biard for Mythos. So if Mythos goes up after I sell my Biard, I make even more than I made than it says in the marketplace. So I kind of try to play the market as well as play the crypto market as well as the NFT market. I haven't actually tried the maze game for Clash Dome yet. I don't know how that works. I'm also just trying to sell my Clash Dome stuff, to be honest. I just stopped playing Clash Dome. Figured, like, I'm selling a bunch of my clicker stuff on Wax. Just like, I don't know. If I'm not using it and I don't really intend on using it in the future, why not sell it? Yeah, I can try it. I don't think my stuff's sold yet, so I still have... I mean, Clash Dome is also free to play. So, like, you don't necessarily even need the NFTs. And I also feel like the earning capacity of it isn't really worth owning the NFTs personally, but that's my own personal belief. I'm also going to switch into shorts real quick. I just don't really play mobile games, to be honest. Like, Rivals is the only mobile game I play. I feel like Clash Dome is all mobile games. Whew. Alright. Fucking sweating bullets. It's so fucking hot in my room. 80 degrees. Fun stuff. Turn on that air conditioner. I'm just saying the quality of the game is more similar to a mobile game. Like, this is not, they're not making Diablo games. They're making, like, Flash games. Which is not really something I play. I'm not saying the games aren't good. It's just like, you know, one of their main games is a ripoff of like Candy Crush. I've never played Candy Crush ever. The first time I ever played Candy Crush was their version of it. So like, the type of games they make just aren't the type of games I play. It's not to speak on the quality of the games or say other people shouldn't play them, but I only supported them because they're on Wax. I had like no interest in the games outside of that. I also have no idea how to play this. Oh, you can go backwards. Oh god. Okay, I understand this now. This is basically just Pac-Man. Follow me. Oh, see me sketch. I'm dead. That was pretty fun though. Is there where I can see my scores versus your score? Like, how do I know who did the best? Like, I wish it gave me like Pac-Man where there's a high score of like who's scored highest on this map afterwards. That would make it a lot more fun. Oh god! Oh, I thought I could outrun him. Fail! Oh god. Get wrecked! Turn circles now, is that? Oh, I died. 11,000 though, I did a lot better. Oh, I have to log in, that's why. That would make sense.
Go.
Damn it, it didn't save my score then. I gotta do better now. Can't catch me. Oh, I think I'm dead. No! Nom 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 nom. Fuck, I just killed myself. Damn it. No! Run! I feel like I could maybe beat this. I don't think I'm gonna play enough times too. No! I'm about to go down. Fuck. Okay, so now how do I see the high score? Does that like invincible thing last forever? That seems like it makes it too easy. Like in Pac-Man, that only lasts for a little bit. Okay, so I'm in the hub. Do I have to like find your specific... I'm naked because I had to unstake my stuff to try to sell it. I do have some of this still. My duels. Okay. Is that duels? Maybe it hasn't shown up yet because no one's played against me. Okay, I understand what's happening. It's not a high score. You're head versus heading other people, and if you get the high score, then you... Is it a high score, or is it like a head-to-head like all the other ones? Should I try yours again? I feel like it might not have showed up if other people have to play against me. Like, it might take the other person playing for the duel to, like, work, you know? Oh, this is everybody. This isn't even me. Should I play your map again or just play anyone? Come on. I gotta sign at a transaction. How is the password wrong? I know my own fucking password. I'm almost gonna have to stop streaming soon to eat. I'm fucking starving. I haven't eaten since like 2 a.m. last night. It's been like fucking over 12 hours since I last ate. I need a citizen to play the game, so that's why. That's interesting. You can play it if you send me the link, but I can't play it like through the app unless I own a citizen. All right. Anything else we want to look at before we call this a stream? I'm hungry. Claim my wax for wax apes. I'm not that worried about it. The reason I'm selling my stuff is because I don't really like playing these games for Zest Phoenix. Like that was fun enough, but I'd rather just go play Pac-Man. Like, Pac-Man's a better designed version of the same game, to be honest. And also, I don't want to play Pac-Man. Like, if I wanted to play Pac-Man, maybe I'd buy that. But, like, I was playing Pac-Man 20 years ago on Sega Genesis. Miss Pac-Man, actually. Shout out to Miss Pac-Man. She was the fucking queen. But, yeah, I don't know. You know, that's a good question. I do think our DAO is, like, not completely broken anymore, but it's still weird. The DAO literally, like, you couldn't click on it without it breaking, and now you can actually click on it. But it's still called, like, dot... It's called, like, comma EON period OTE, because I guess you can't use spaces or capital letters. But, like, it looks like it's working. I don't get this, though. It says supports Neon Space NFT. I have Neon Space NFT in this wallet, and I don't see any of it. So the stuff that you're supposed to be able to vote with is not showing up. So I don't know. We'll have to look at this and see why it's not working. Because I believe the way we set it up is like it would register any NFT in your wallet in non-custodial stake, and literally any NFT you own from Neon Space would count towards a vote. Is the way we're trying to set it up. But I don't see the option to even... Like, I don't see the NFTs in my wallet. And Neon Fanatics most definitely has Neon Space NFT wallet or NFTs. So I don't know. We got to look further into this. I also would like to change the name. It sucks that it like is Eon Oat. Like, who the hell is gonna know what that is? Yeah, I guess we're one step closer. Max might be just Tetris, but I also do not play Tetris outside of the space. Like, so I was saying, like, the type of games that they're making are just not games that I play. Like, which has nothing to do with the quality of the game or anything, but like, yeah, I don't really play arcade games. I play like Counter-Strike, Overwatch, Diablo. Those are sort of the games I'm interested in more so than mobile or arcade games, but clearly there's a market for it and lots of people like it. All right, I think I'm gonna freaking wrap the stream up before I pass out from starvation. Let's raid into someone from starvation. Let's raid into someone from starvation. What is going on here? I muted this. Like, it was on mute and it was double playing? What the fuck is going on there? Later, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'll raid into Jungle Bry. Have fun over there. On Thursday, we have Sammy coming on from Nova Rally, so if you want to learn about the Nova Rally updates, he'll be on. I don't think anything's launching. He just said he wanted to give like a general update and say hi, but that'll be at 12:30 Pacific time on Thursday. And if you want to hang out before then, we'll be in Discord. Otherwise, see y'all on Thursday. And I'm going to raid Jungle Bry. Later, everybody. Have a good one. Hope you're having a good week. And also say hi to Jungle Bry for us.
Smoke weed every day.